Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Who is there? Let's see. Who is joining? Please join. Hi, everyone. So today I'm wearing these beautiful South African earrings, but I think I have to have like a long neck for me to be able to actually rock them nicely. But look at them. How gorgeous. Look. I think they're gorgeous. They're beautiful, guys. Hey, this is Africa. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you? What's going on for Christmas? We should talk. This is Africa. Are you working? Hi, Patricia. Ah, gosh, I have like work here happening. Um, but I was just telling you about my new earrings. This is Africa. Do you want to join the live so you can tell us about your African, no, not African, but your Christmas story, like how it was for you growing up or the American tradition of Christmas? Let's see. Thank you guys for joining. Let me see if I can share the link here. I know someone said they wanted to join the live. But how are you, Patricia? What's happening? Are you doing your Christmas shopping yet? Let's see, where am I? StreamYard. Here, invite guest, copy. I think we're good. Guys, what's happening? What's happening? We're just catching up. Hi, Elijah. How are you? It's a new name. So I got this microphone. But do you think it's on right now? Guys, do you hear me really well? I got like Corey was buying like Black Friday deals and he got me this fancy microphone thing. You can see like like those things, right? Like that over here, that thing. I usually laugh because I see it with professional guys. And I don't know why he thought I needed this, but maybe my audio sucked. So that's why he got me this. But do I sound any better? Please let me know. He's testing it out, but I feel like it's in my face. Do I need to put it away, like on the other side? Okay, I'm already live. So, all right, cool. Pop filter. Oh, what is the pop filter? Oh, that's the pop filter. This is Africa. I'm telling you, this is. I don't even know why I work in technology because this is a shaming. Let's see. Let me go here to my channel and send you guys. Go here to my channel and send you guys. Okay, so I just sent in a link if anybody wants to join and chat about Christmas. It's interesting because yesterday I went to my barber place. It's a group of the barber shop is owned by a group of guys who are from Honduras. Yes, so the Spanish speaking guys, and I love them because they do like these nice fancy haircuts. I took my older son there for a haircut as well. So, but so he wanted. So they were asking me. One of them was like, "Hey, Brenda, so do you guys have Christmas in Africa?" So I laughed and jiggled. It's like jiggled, giggled, giggled. Oh my god, my English is really bad this morning. But I giggled. It's like, yes, of course we have Christmas in Africa, and he was like, oh, how is it like? And it just gave me, it just reminded me how, yeah, most people actually don't know that other people also celebrate Christmas. So, but it comes back to a question as I was working this morning. I was like, oh, this is an interesting topic. So people will ask me, how is Christmas in the US, for example, and how was Christmas for you in Africa? So we're going to dissect how Christmas is like in Africa and how it is like in the US. And I have some Americans here who are watching, so you guys can actually join in. I just shared a StreamYard link. If you want to tell us about what you think Christmas is all about in the US or in your other parts of the world, please feel free to join. Let's see if I can copy it here again. I think the microphone is working. But thank you guys for joining. Thank you. So growing up in Africa, this is what Christmas was all about. And it was nothing, it didn't have anything to do with, Corey, maybe we're not going to work on that for now.
Should be this one, but you need to aim it at you.
Yeah, but then if I aim it at me, then it's
No.
It's in my face.
Aim this at you.
Okay, so I don't need to type this thing. Thank you. I have a good helper. But anyway, so we're talking about Christmas in Africa versus Christmas in the US. And this is like my honest opinion, my own experience. I've lived in the US for quite a number of years. I've had Christmas celebrations here for maybe 14 years now. So, and I've also, growing up, of course, I celebrated Christmas back in Africa. And this is what it was like for me in Africa. Christmas was all about getting together as families. So everybody who was like all the relatives or the siblings, like our older siblings always traveled from the cities. So they would travel back to the villages. So, and it's the common thing. Samsung, I think it is. I don't know. What is it? I don't know the type. Let's see. No, it's it's this one. This is Africa. It's the Milano. It's not the fancy one. It's not the most expensive microphone out there. So I don't know how much this is, but it was one of those Black Friday deals. So my amazing husband got this for me. But I guess it works. So if you guys can hear me, then it's working really well. Anyway, so we're talking about Christmas. So it's on one of my new gadgets, my new YouTube gadgets, so podcast gadgets. And so we'll be experimenting with that as we go on. So Christmas in Africa was all about, like, siblings would travel from the villages, from the cities. It was always like that exciting time when they would travel from, let's say, Kampala to Mbarara, to the village, to Rushere, and they would come in like on the 23rd. It was always like, so on the 23rd, like us being young in the village, we were waiting for our older siblings, would be like all anxious. It was all about getting a new outfit to wear for on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day is usually a day when most people go to church. If your families are religious, it's the day I've ever seen the church really full. Like, people would travel from everywhere, and it's like a Thanksgiving day at church. So people give offertories in church. And then after that, the service would end at around 1 or 2 p.m. And then you travel back to your homes for a big feast. So would wake up super early on 24th, first of all. So everybody would be home by then. And then you'd wake up and start cleaning the whole entire house. And then making sure then you have like all the dishes ready, and you go last minute grocery shopping if you hadn't grocery shopped. So it's like going to the shops and buying things like rice, tomatoes, bread. So things pretty much to make a big feast on the 25th. And then on 24th night, you'd be singing Christmas carols in the house. You kind of like don't go to sleep until like midnight. And then like towards midnight, you start putting up your Christmas tree. It wasn't like the fancy Christmas tree. It was like a small tree. Sometimes we'd just cut a branch from the trees outside, stick it in the corner in the house, and decorate it with balloons, some glittering stuff, glitters, and yeah, like wrap it around, throw some cotton balls on it. I guess now that I'm here, that was to symbolize snow. Let me see, somebody, device not connected. Keeping hope alive. I see you're trying to join. Please keep trying. It says device not connected, but keep trying. You can go out and then come back in and see if that works. But I would love you to actually come in. So anyways, and then so now the cotton balls that they would throw in the tree, I guess was supposed to symbolize snow. Now that I've been here, I've seen snow. It was supposed to give it like that white Christmas look. Now that I'm here, I make sense of it. But I always wondered why, we had to throw some cotton balls. Anyways, so that was really it. We didn't have like Christmas presents under the trees. That was growing up, I didn't see anything like that. The presents we ever got was like a new outfit to wear on Christmas Day, like a new dress, new shoes. I didn't wear jewelry now. And then I don't know what else, maybe like new things, but it was always like around, or it rotated around Matoka Christmas tree. No, we didn't have Matoka. It wasn't a Matoka Christmas tree. It was usually people would just go cut some branches from the trees in the compounds. It was more like, some people who had like pine trees, they would cut some of those and another different tree, but that has like longer branches, almost looks like a Christmas tree here, but it's not a Christmas tree. I forget what the name of the tree is. And then stick it in the corner. So, but it had to be like a perfect branch looking, then stick it in the corner of your house, in the living room, and then decorate it simply, like with simplicity, nothing extravagant. Let's see here. We would add sweets as decorations on the Christmas tree, and then enjoy them after lunch. Oh, that's interesting. So we didn't. I didn't do that. Yeah, that's actually a good one. So here people do candy canes on the Christmas trees. Like those long candy cane looking, the red and white. I don't know if I can find one and show you. But so they put those on the Christmas trees, and of course, like, kids can pick one by one. They have different flavors, like mint. Yeah. So anyways, like some are green, like green and white, or red and white. But yeah, kids would like go on and like snack on the candy cane. So I guess that's again almost the same idea, Patricia. That's interesting how these things are similar in a way. So yeah, that was usually our Christmas in Africa, and they'll play Christmas music everywhere. Like on the radio stations, they'll be playing Christmas music, like the usual, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas. That's one of like my favorite songs growing up. And when I hear them here being played on radio, I get so excited about them. And then the towns would pretty much close. People would travel to the villages, so people would have to do the shoppings by 23rd. Most shops in the villages would be closed on the 24th because everybody's traveling back to their villages, to their homes to prepare for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. Here in Oregon, they usually use Douglas fir trees. Maybe it's actually the same. I don't know. I have to look that up and see if it's the same kind of tree. I wish I had my uncle here, because he on this video he would tell us exact. He knows all the trees names. But so yeah, they did that, and then after church, they get home and pretty much sit around, like the meals are ready. So you'd prepare the heavy meals, like the matokes and the rices. You'd leave them cooking, and then or maybe some people would prepare them super early in the morning, and by the time church time is ready, by like 10 a.m., all the meals are ready. So then by the time you come back, you just warm everything up. Or some foods that stay on the stove and they're just warming up. So when you get back, they're ready to serve and to start eating. So by 3 p.m. is usually the big feast of, enjoying the big meals. Yeah, it's usually the big meals, and then soda. Soda was usually the one of the fancy drinks that you'd have around Christmas. So most families back in Africa, mostly in the villages, sodas are, I don't want to say a delicacy, but it's one of those treats. Like, you are so happy to actually be getting a soda. Of course, it's different for kids or families in the cities, because some of them, soda is like a usual thing, or maybe at least once in a while, or maybe every other weekend. But in the villages, most kids would have Christmas only around Christmas time. I mean, sodas only around Christmas time, around Easter time, or a special day, maybe at a wedding. So that's when they would get things like a soda served to them. So you would see the kids' excitement to be able to drink a soda. It was always like fun to watch. We use Kwenganda tree, especially here in my village, Kagwenda tree. I wonder what that, maybe that's the name, Patricia. Maybe that's the name. Matoke, my favorite. What? Yeah, so thus matoke had to appear, like had to be one of the foods on the menu, usually on Christmas Day. And that matoke is cooked for a long time. It's cooked, and then they kubobeza, like they put it in banana leaves, and then it cooks for like hours. By the time you get to eat it, it's all nice and yellow and like delicious. It has like the flavors from the banana leaves. Anyway, so that was usually Christmas Day for most people in the villages, let's say in Uganda, sit around and eat. And then after everybody has eaten like so much food, like around 3, then they'll just like take a break, hang out in the compound, tell some stories, or sometimes we'd go visit some neighbors, or neighbors would come over, like if your immediate neighbors are home. Of course, most of you haven't seen each other in like the whole year. Those who live in the cities are there now. So that's the time like the neighbors would come over, and then they'll be like maybe serving some tea, some soda. You always expect visitors on Christmas Day. Like, people didn't even have to announce that, hey, we're coming over. No, they'll just show up, and you have to kind of like, as a home, you have to be ready to serve them something. Serve them some tea, some water, some sodas, and then like, it's party time. And then some wines for those who could afford wines, or alcohol, any other alcohol, beers, and things like that. But it's always like a time for togetherness. People come together, distant relatives, neighbors just like show up, and it's just an amazing time to see everybody you haven't seen in a long time. So now back here in the US, so what I find is Christmas time really begins after Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is the last Thursday in November. So like Thanksgiving was last week Thursday. So immediately after Thanksgiving, most stores start putting up Christmas things. Christmas lights everywhere. People's homes start to light up. If you're driving, like one of these days, I'll drive around my neighborhood and show you all the Christmas lights, all the Christmas decorations in the whole neighborhood, and every house has like lights glowing. Of course, you have like a few houses that we consider the Grinches. The Christmas Grinch is the one who did not like Christmas. So if you find like one home that doesn't have lights, maybe they don't believe in Christmas. It's just their choice. But most homes have like beautiful lightings outside. Christmas trees are in the windows. You could see them from outside because the lights are on the Christmas tree. Like, we put our Christmas tree up this past weekend, and the kids could not wait. They put up their own smaller Christmas tree as well upstairs in our house. And then most people at that point start shopping. So when you see things like Black Friday, those are the days when there's like special deals going on in different stores, and people try to shop for all the Christmas presents that time. Some people start earlier if you can find deals of things what your family needs, but most people start to shop around that time. And then they save, they start wrapping the presents and then putting them under the Christmas trees as they prepare for the time for Christmas. In church, Thanksgiving, let me see here. Imagine taking soda only on Christmas. I know. It's healthy though. I look back, I'm like, good for you. Like, good for you. You did not drink soda. Like, soda is not it's one of the unhealthy drinks there is. So imagine like all those kids who do not drink soda the entire year. They're not missing anything. I think it's actually one of the reasons why most people in villages are healthier than people in the cities. It's another healthy person in me is coming out. But so they would only get it as a treat once in a while, and that's really healthy for them. And then here in church, we give Thanksgiving. Everyone has an envelope, or hens, goats, animals will also be sold during the service. Whoa, wow. So I wonder who buys them. Maybe people in church. I guess usually that's the time too. People have like some money. So I think the church makes a killing during that time because there's so many people in church that come from far. And I find that I remember the reverends always had to announce the names of everybody who lives in the city, like who's come from Kampala. They would know the names. So they would target like all those richer people who have just come in for Christmas. And I'm sure they would get like more offertory from those guys. Like, oh, you're here. We're so thankful to have you in church. It was nice to see you, our son or daughter. You've been away for a long time. You've lived abroad. So that means you're going to give more money to the church. I'm telling you, the church. Christmas was the only day Dad would buy us a crate of soda. See, that's the same, Patricia. Yeah, I remember my mom, and growing up, we didn't have like those huge bottles of soda like there is now in Uganda or in Africa or even here in the US. There was only that smaller bottles of sodas. So, and if they bought like a whole crate, you're lucky if you got like 2 bottles, but usually it was like 1 soda, and you'll be very, very grateful and happy with it. Now, so here in the US, on Christmas, so they start playing Christmas music as well on some radio stations, starting from, after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving. And then also after that, like all the malls are decorated with fancy lights, Christmas lights, and then people start like some different companies start to hold Christmas parties around second week, third week of December. And then people travel for Christmas, at least to get like a break of maybe a few days before Christmas or a day before Christmas and a day after Christmas, whereby you're able to be with your family. Yes. So even here, people get together as families. It's usually that immediate family. I think maybe it depends on different places, I guess, or different families and their cultures. But like in my family here, it's the immediate family. So if, let's say, my husband has 2 siblings, so we get together with the 2 siblings and their families, of course, and then their parents, like my father and my mother-in-law as well, get to join. We all gather at one house and have a good feast. So, and then that's usually on New Year's Eve is when we celebrate our Christmas, because most times these different families, like my brother-in-law's wife's family also has to do something. So they might also want to go and be with her family as well, maybe on Christmas Day. So we try to look for a day when we can all get together, and then also their families be able to get together with the other side of the family. So we do that on the 24th, and then 25th is a day when, like, those who are still around, is the day they open some presents now, from not from Santa, but from like the family. So most kids here believe in Santa for the longest time, at least until like 5 years before their siblings spoil it for them. So they believe that, like when it's towards Christmas, like in November, all the kids write their lists of things that they want. They feel like they should get. So they write a list of things and then give it to the parents. And then the parents are supposed to send that to Santa. So Santa is like watching. That's usually the big term around here. Let's see here. Let me read your comments real quick. Another thing, like Coca-Cola has a lot less sugar in Kenya versus in America. Too many chemicals added. The Coca-Cola used to taste like that here 40 years ago. Yeah, you know what? I find the sodas here are more sweet. So I don't know why, but yeah, they're sweeter than like the sodas back home. I'm not a soda drinker, but every time I taste like a Fanta or a Coca-Cola, I'm like, ooh, this is like super sweet. So I think they make them differently, or they add some more sugar. I guess maybe next time I'm home, I should actually look at the ingredients and the amount of sugar in those drinks and compare them to the amount of sugars added in the drinks here. Here in some villages, it could cost you your marriage if you don't pimp up your wife. Oh, William. Oh my gosh, yes. So that's another thing in Africa. Yes. So you're kind of like, if you're a couple or a family, usually the guy is supposed to buy a present for his wife, and usually it's like a nice outfit. So like a gomesi that William is talking about is one of the traditional outfits in the Buganda culture, in the central culture. So and it has to look fancy. It has to look nice. Some people refuse to attend Christmas Day, refuse to go to church because you did not buy me a new outfit. That is insane. That's crazy. So you find like families have, like, the husband is working so hard and he has to make sure he buys his wife and his children a new outfit, a new shoe, a new bag, a new dress, a new traditional dress. Because most people, married couples usually wear, like the women at least wear those traditional outfits in the church for like that special occasion. So yes, some wife might run away if the husband doesn't buy them that outfit. Here, nobody cares. Here, actually, what I find is maybe people who go to churches, yes, they try to buy like a new outfit. But other than that, like when Christmas time, when families get together, you just they try to wear something that is Christmassy. So in Christmas colors, let's say white, let's say red, but at least they, of course you have to look nice because you're going to see family. And of course you take like family pictures. So you try to get like a nice looking outfit and look nice. But other than that, it's not a must that somebody has to have like a fancy outfit, a fancy shoe, a fancy this and that. That's not what most people do here. But unless, of course, different cultures, if you find like the Africans who like love to dress up, yes, they will still buy that, expensive outfit, expensive handbag, because they have to show off in church, maybe, or whatever they're going to get together. Let's see here. It's like I can't join you in the stream yet. I wanted to share about the carol services. We meet in church and only sing Christmas songs from different individuals and team. It's too exciting. Wow. Yeah, I know. Keeping alive. I kept seeing you, but then you couldn't join. I don't know what's happening. It might be your internet connection. But sorry, guys. If you want to join, please, there's a link in those comments. It's a StreamYard link. You feel free to join me and share your experience of how it's done in your countries or in your cultures. That would be amazing to hear. Yeah, so you know what? The Christmas carols, I've never seen them around here, but I think maybe some This is Africa. You might maybe share something about this. I have never seen Christmas carol singers in my neighborhoods. Like people ringing the doorbell and singing. But I think it would be fun, like for the kids, to actually experience that. But back home in Uganda, yes, I remember people would go around singing. My older siblings, my sisters used to also join, like if some people from the village came around, like on 24th singing, they would hey, they would thank you for joining, thank you. So
Hey,
people in the villages would yeah, like come by, and then if you want to join, you just jump on the wagon and go on and start singing with them. I have somebody in the studio. Hey, Experience African, how are you? How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing very great.
Is that a Ugandan shirt?
I'm doing very great. How are you?
Good, good, good. What's on your shirt? Is that like Ugandan colors?
No, not really. But I wish it were.
I thought you're being very patriotic.
No, no, no. I'm not Ugandan anyway, but I'm African. This
Yeah,
is Kenya,
this is K. Oh, okay, I see, I see. Yeah, yeah.
but I'm
So how
actually
are you?
Nigerian.
You're actually Nigerian?
Yeah,
Oh, so that's a Kenyan flag right there? I
I
can't
am
really see
Nigerian.
it so well. I can't hear you. I think you're frozen for a second. William, do you see
Hello?
my microphone over here? I'm now fancy. Did you see it? I have like one of those fancy looking microphones.
Yeah, it's good. Actually, the sound is actually. I'm trying to get one of that too,
Oh
so I
yeah,
can use. You
it's
can
the
see I'm
sound is
using
better.
yeah, the sound is actually better. Uh, and then the convenience that when I move now, this will shake and make some kind of
Yeah.
vibration, but with that is much easier. It's stable. there's
Mm.
there's actually a smaller one
Hmm.
that you can actually put on the table. I think you're in America, so it's going to be easy for you to easily access. It's called Samsung V2. It's very, very good.
Oh, oh, I
Yeah,
see.
it's
Yeah,
smaller.
yeah. This one is smaller too. I just attached it to a stool. So this is the kind that I got. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, but it's upside down, the name.
It's upside down. Oh,
But I like
sorry,
I
sorry.
like that
Yeah,
too. I like that too for podcasting. It's very good for podcasting,
yeah.
and it's yeah. Maybe
So
I'll get
anyway,
the
these are new
name. Maybe
things to
you
me.
yeah, they're new, yeah, but the quality of the video is improving.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Good to know. Good to know. So
Yeah.
how
So
have you
how is the
been? How
place
is
for
Chris?
Christmas?
Yeah, well, how is Christmas like in your home, in your village?
Okay, in my village or where I am right now.
Whatever. I mean, growing up, whatever you were, how is it like? And then maybe you could
Okay,
compare to where
as a
you are right
child,
now.
actually, December 1st was a date that everybody looked out for. We actually have this Christmas tree lighting campaign on every 1st of December,
Oh,
which
so
is a
like today.
very, very, yeah, it's a very big event in my country, in my own hometown where I come from. It's a
Uh-huh.
very big event. You will find because of the traffic, people don't even use their vehicles and could trek as much as 3, 4, 5 kilometers to go watch the tree lighting campaign.
Wow, that's interesting. That should be fun.
Yeah, because it takes place in the middle of the night. There's a lot of fireworks. It's sponsored by government.
Mm-hmm.
Though my state is not purely a Christian state, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be talking about my state, but Nigerian government to a certain extent have a kind of way they sponsor religious matters like Hajj and some Christmas events and other events. So
Mm-hmm.
the government organized this. They buy the fireworks. They organize the event, which is actually done on a TV station at a TV
Mm-hmm.
station. So you find a lot of people come to that event. That
Nice.
event is very, very big because you find both Christians and not Christian coming to watch the fireworks. But recently, some religious issues have been happening. There's been some kind of squabbles between the religions, so it's not as it used to be in the past.
Okay.
But from
Okay.
where I come from, we are used to celebrating Christmas. Whether you're Christian or a Muslim, we celebrate together. When they're celebrating their Eid, we also celebrate together. So Christmas is an event in my place. It's a
Mm-hmm.
time where almost everybody travels and needs to be home. It's a time where family unites, the
Mm-hmm.
extended family. In Africa, we're more of extended families, not just immediate
Yeah,
family.
like the
So,
cousins
yeah,
and yeah.
you find that most people who are living in the cities are making their way to the villages because
Yeah.
that's where you're going to see everybody at the villages. So there are a lot of events, hiking events, uh, picnics. There are a lot of events. So it's a time when, if you're not actually safe, you might be not be able to have an easygoing January because all the money you have, you would barely be spending it on
And Christmas time,
Christmas.
yeah.
Yeah, by the time it's January, you're not planned for it. You definitely be in trouble because you have to get new clothes for the kids. Meat is a compulsory. You must have meat, and when I mean meat, you need to have meat in abundance. People need to eat meat, drinks, and it's not like it's just the Christmas day. It's the whole period because everybody is home for a holiday. So the whole period you need to be served that meat daily. Whenever you have a visitor, he must eat. Even the kids at home, they should have excess. It's a time for meat and fries for us. We have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
for us in Africa, we have or in Nigeria, particularly, we believe in those things. Sweets, trips. It's a very busy time for us there in Nigeria. You cannot go without uh, say uh, without money in that period. So you have to have something to be prepared for. It's just a bit from January you start preparing for Christmas, whatever it is.
From January, you start preparing for December.
Yes, from January you have to start preparing for December because uh, coincidentally that's a period where schools resume in January. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
kids
Even
are
in
going to go back
Uganda,
to school.
yeah. Mm.
So kids are going back. They're going to have a holiday, maybe 2 3 weeks for the Christmas and the New Year
Mm-hmm.
because it runs through as a whole holiday. Even the federal government is a whole holiday that period. So everybody's going to be home. You have to make sure you have provision for food that will last you that period,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot have Christmas without buying your kids clothes. No, because everybody buys. Some kids in Africa only get clothes once in a year. I remember for
Yeah,
myself, I
true.
can really testify
True.
for myself my own self, even though I was not from a poor home, but I was not from a rich home, but I was
Mm-hmm.
from a comfortable home. But I can remember that most times I was getting clothes Christmas period. I would definitely have maybe two pairs, one for Christmas and one for New Year to wear
Mm-hmm.
to the church. Yeah, so that was the period we normally get new clothes. Not to say maybe in between people you could get once a while, or if there's an event, maybe somebody's getting married within the family. So it's a period that everybody waits for. Even the elderly, they know that this is the period their children are going to come visiting from the cities. So they're going to bring provisions for them. They're going to bring them new clothes, and possibly before they leave, they'll give them some money to keep. So it's a period that it's very very busy. So
Yeah,
much
busy
happens. A
and
lot of accidents, a lot. It's a positive time. Yes, celebrating the birth of Christ, but there is so much that goes with it. There are some cultures in Nigeria, like the Igbo culture.
yeah.
If we have any viewer watching
Isn't
that
that
is
the
actually
rich?
from that,
Isn't that the rich tribe, the Igbo?
yeah, they're actually a rich tribe.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, there are people who are sojourners. They
Ah.
travel. It
Mm-hmm.
is believed that if you travel to any country in the world and you don't have an Igbo man, leave that country.
Whoa.
Yes, because there is no country in the world you will not find an Igbo man, no matter how remote it is.
Really? That's
But
interesting.
yeah, the pride of the Igbo man is to go out, hustle, get money, come back, build a big house, and live comfortably. Most
Mm-hmm.
times they spend only the Christmas period at home. That's the only period you find them at home.
And then they travel again to go make money.
Once, yes, so you find out that even if they build mansions, they only stay in that mansion for that period of 2 weeks, Christmas to New Year. Once the season is finished, they're off again wherever they are. They are not really stay based at home. So those people, to them, Christmas is a big time because they have spent a whole year away from home. They could be in the next state. They could be like just some hundreds of kilos, some thousands or some hundreds of kilometers away, but for the fact that they're going to hustle, they only come back during this period of Christmas. So it's a big celebration in Nigeria, most especially. It's a big time
Wow.
celebration. Yeah.
That's interesting. So that's,
To
I
an
mean, I
extent, I
think,
believe some people have even they celebrate Christmas. Not some people is not even the birth of Christ, but it's just the events that come around with it. So it
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
really Christians. Yeah, yeah,
But it's just like the time. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I think it's a common thing for most African countries. Like Christmas time is
yeah,
usually the time. Even most people get to go back to their villages. That's like one
yeah,
of the only times, or maybe the other times could be weddings, like close family weddings. But most
yeah.
times it's usually like
Funerals. But
funerals.
you know,
Yeah.
those are not.
So
Yeah, but those are not things that really bring you back home. Christmas is when you want to see everybody home. You definitely see.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like in my own community, yes, it's Christmas and New Year, but first of January is actually when we have a cultural day.
Mm,
Like
mm, mm.
all the villages, they come with their dances, they come dressed in their attires. People come out on that first January because almost everybody's in the village, so that's where you meet. The show off is done. If you have arrived, if you have not, everybody comes to that particular place to show off whatever. And you find even
Yeah,
people from other tribes coming to that village to also partake in it because it's a big event, because that's the time everybody is home. So Christmas is a very big thing back there in my home
yeah,
country.
yeah. I mean, it's great. I hope this year will be different from last year because of COVID.
Yeah,
Most people
yeah,
didn't get
because of COVID.
together, because of COVID. But now, I don't know how it is for you in Nigeria, but I know like places like South Africa now have like the new virus going on. Places like Zambia, Zimbabwe. So I feel like
Yeah.
people will be scared to party or to hang around again this year.
Okay. For me, I think for Africans,
Hmm.
we have our own way of dealing with the pandemic. It might
Mm.
not be scientific, but Africans are great people.
Hmm.
We've had Ebola come.
Yeah.
We have, apart from Ebola, we have, there's this one that comes from rats. I can't remember exactly the
Oh,
name
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. From
Lassa
rats.
fever. Lassa fever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had all these things. And I can remember then I was still back in my home country. I'm in Dubai right now. But
Hmm.
then I was in my home country. And I can remember when Lassa fever came, it just came like just the way they speak of any other disease. People
Hmm.
didn't really take any much action, but it did not wipe us out. So
Yeah.
somehow I think we have a way we manage these diseases, and maybe because of the foods, the way we live, the
Yeah.
climate or
The
something,
climate.
we're kind of a bit immune. I don't know, but
Yeah, I think
actually,
our
if
bodies have had a good share of different viruses hitting us
yes,
growing up. So
yes,
we've kind of developed some kind of immunity system around
yeah,
us, and it
yeah,
might
that's
be
why I said I
helping
know
us.
it's not scientifically proven.
Yeah.
If what happened in Italy, in India during Corona happened in Africa, I think by now Africa would have been wiped.
Yeah, it would
Because
be.
in the midst of this COVID, you could still find people moving without masks, not washing their hands, and we still survived it. We've not
Yeah.
had that bad impact.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think to a certain extent we are kind of immune. And no matter what you say, even if the disease is killing, people will still go out. So celebration will still take place. Christmas will still take place.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
Definitely Christmas will still take place. No
Yeah.
matter
Christmas will.
the,
So
the
now, do you
variant or
miss
no
it
variant.
back home? Do you miss being
Yeah,
back home for Christmas?
certainly. I spent 2 Christmas in Dubai. Christmas in Dubai can be fun
Mm-hmm.
because there are lots of malls and places to go. But if you live in Dubai, it gets to a point, it gets a bit boring because it's the same routine, and
Mm-hmm.
the life is not like the community life we live back home in Africa, where it's like for me when it's Christmas. There's a tradition. I don't know if you practice it in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tradition we do. You cook after cooking the food in the morning. The first thing is you cook the food plus all your neighbors. So we go house to house. You take food
Wow.
to the next house, and you take to the next house, and you take to the next house, and you take to the next house. Almost all the houses on the street, and all your friends, your family friends, not even on your streets. If you have family friends that are quite a distance, you would
Yeah.
actually drive to that distance to go give food. Now,
Wow.
when we go to give this food as kids, because most times it's the kids that are sent to give this food. When you go,
Mm-hmm.
they give you what we call Happy Christmas. They give you some money, some change, some new notes. People change money to new notes,
Oh,
when they
yeah.
come.
Yeah. So that it looks
So you
really
get some
nice.
small
Yeah.
money. Yeah. So it encouraged community living. So that is not done here.
No. No.
As you will take to them, they will also take to you.
Hmm.
But that has created the reason why people struggle to get money before December, because you wouldn't want your neighbor to bring something really good and dicey and you cannot give back the same. So it's a competition. Everybody wants to say, I give chicken, I give beef, I give ram, you know. People are doing that. So it's the community living is different. People
Yeah.
will come together, buy a cow and slaughter it and
Oh
share it to
yes,
the different
that's also
families,
one of the things that some
you know.
some villages do those things in Uganda whereby they all put in money, like
Yeah,
20,000, let's say, and if the cow was like, let's say, $100, they all put in like
yeah,
$5 or whatever, and then
yeah.
they on
They
24th they
split.
cut they split.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think
same.
that
We
was
do
a
same.
good thing. That was a very good
It, it
cultural.
it has always been a good thing because it
Yeah.
keeps families together. They support each
Hmm.
other. These are people who are used to each other. They keep doing it round and round to support each other.
Yeah, yeah, I think, yeah, those are some of the habits, so the cultural, traditional things that I kind of miss,
Like I
back in
said, the
Africa.
extended family. Yeah, the extended family, when it's that particular period, you get to see everybody. Like me, that's
Yeah.
the time I see all of my cousins, all of my brothers, or whatever. That's the
Hmm.
time you see everybody. So even
Yeah.
that's just 1 week or 2 days or 3 days, because some don't stay as long, but it's a period you see everybody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
definitely
agree.
I
I
miss I
agree.
miss I miss home on that matter.
Yeah. I think back home too, it's, you know, Christmas can be as expensive as you want it to be, or can be as simple as you
Yeah,
want it to be.
that's one thing
You
to
know,
be.
Yeah, some people, it's not all about the presents now. I look at so many families here, like I think I would say 80% of Americans, their kids are expecting presents, like, and if I don't get this, why? So it's like a big thing. And people find like they spend a lot of money during Christmas time on like
Yeah,
kids' presents. But this is money that they don't even have.
yeah,
So it's credit card money. And then after Christmas, then you have a huge bill that you have to pay. And, the cycle goes on and on. So people tend to live beyond their means there. But whereby in Africa, if you don't have credit cards,
yeah.
so you can only afford what you can. Maybe
What
some
you
people
have.
take loans, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people do take loan. Not like some people. A lot of people do because most people even run into debts because you can't tell your children at the end of the day that you didn't have money to
Hmm.
fit, like buy things for them for Christmas. It's not really the present, but the food. Just
Yeah.
because it's become like a culture that you have to make this food, and you cannot tell your family this other family is eating well and your own family is not eating, because you have to. So you have to plan from January. That's why I said you have to plan from January. If you don't, then it means you're going to get to the next year in debt, because you have to borrow to sustain yourself.
I see. Yeah.
And,
Ah,
and some employers, they actually create cooperatives where a part of your salary every month you have to donate to the cooperative against the next Christmas. So it's like a system. Some friends will come together and say, okay, we want to make a thrift. We collect money every month, save towards
yeah.
December. So it's an easier way of saving towards the period. So
Yeah. Towards the period. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and it was some other thing that I loved about like communities back in Africa towards Christmas. Like you said, people would, so like people who have cows, for example. So you'd
yeah,
find the family would make like so much ghee. Let's say if they
yeah.
have cows, like they make so much
Okay,
ghee and then accumulate it, because most of them don't even sell it, so there's no market
okay,
for it. But and then
okay,
towards Christmas, you find like you have to give the neighbors. So you give some to the
okay.
neighbors, and then also your neighbor has also something that they are good at
Will give
growing,
return.
maybe like bananas or something. So like you
Yeah,
were
so
just
they'll give in
saying,
return. It's just
yeah, they
barter.
give in return. Yeah. So and then you'd find like almost every home now has food for Christmas. Just from that,
Okay.
I grew a lot of yams this year, so I'm going to give my neighbor some yams, and my neighbor grew a lot of sweet potatoes, so my neighbor is going to give me a sack of sweet potatoes, and that's how
Sweet
families.
potato.
Yeah. I think those are some of like the culture, the culture things that kept the communities together, and
Community value.
with this
Yeah, the
spirit of
community value.
sharing. Yeah.
Yeah. And that you cannot find in the developed world, because even here you cannot even know your neighbor. First of all, you don't even know the person in the next flat. Possibly you don't
Yeah.
even know his name. So who is
Yeah.
sharing with who? It's not there. So as long as you're from Africa, you have some part of your life in Africa. Even if you're from the Western and lived in Africa, I'm certain you will definitely miss Christmas at home, or that uh, this type of period where there is this community life.
Yeah. And even the days after Christmas, like I remember like back home, like on the 26th, which is like considered Boxing Day, it would be a holiday for most.
Boxing Day, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like another time when like all the neighbors would come by, or your cousins who are maybe a little far away, but they traveled and they're here for Christmas. So they would come over, or you'd go over, and so it would be like almost a whole week of celebration. But here it's like Christmas Day,
Yeah,
and after Christmas, and the whole thing ends.
that's all.
Everybody moves on again to their homes. Most people travel like hours and hours to get together. So everybody goes back to their home, and the whole excitement that was built for a whole month or months is gone in just like 2 days.
It's finished. It's finished. It's finished.
Yeah, so I find that very strange, and but I find it's just different. Anyways, we're almost at the top of the hour. I gotta get back to work. Thank you so much for sharing. You guys, if you're here, you're watching
Thank you so
Experience
much for
Africans.
having
He's a
me.
YouTuber as well. Please visit his channel. Thank you for sending
Thank you very
Sharon
much.
my way. Sharon Miranda, thank you for joining Akatama family.
Yeah, she's also a Ugandan YouTuber.
Oh, she is.
She's based in UK. Yeah, and I
Ah,
was talking about you and some few other Ugandan YouTubers. So I'm sure she
yeah.
connected based on that. Try to make sure you connect back and
Yes, I will
encourage
do.
each
I'll
other. That's
definitely
the
do
journey
that.
for us all.
Yes, I'll
Thank you very, very
definitely
much.
check
I
her
do
out as well. Yeah. Anyway, you take care. Let's enjoy
you
your
take care.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Find joy wherever you are, and make
Certainly,
it
I'm
happen.
sure we'll come with another life.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We will. And I appreciate you joining my live. Thank you so much.
You're very much welcome. Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys, thank you so much who joined in. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to Experience Africans as well. He is a YouTuber. Most of the people in the comments are also YouTubers. So if you're making friends in the comment section, make sure you check each other out and support one another. So that's how we get to grow. That's how we get to, everybody's goals get achieved. So other than that, if you have more stories to share with us, please, anytime, leave us a comment, and we'll be able to talk about those things maybe next time. And we'll be back with another live this weekend. Guys, make sure you tune in. Take care.